In today's video, I'll be showing you how to easily solo the new fort inside of Dead Rails. If you didn't already know a few hours ago at the time of recording, a new update for Dead Rails came out, which included stuff like classes, which allow you to start the game with specific items for bonds, a leaderboard for the most wins, and also being able to buy bonds for Robux. Along with all this new stuff and some more, we also got the new fort, which is a lot like the castle, and spawns every 60,000 kilometers, and has a bunch of enemies inside that you need to defeat for loot, and inside you can also find the new cannon. So I'll be going over all of this in today's video, and if you enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Anyways, let's get into it. So here I am, and you can see the fort just in the distance over there. And like I said earlier, the fort spawns at 60,000 kilometers, and before we go into the fort, there's a few things you're gonna need. You'll probably have all this stuff at this point in the game, but I'll still go over it. First, you're obviously gonna need a rifle with some ammo, and also bring a shotgun too for close range encounters. I'd say bring around 60 bullets at least for each gun. Then, you also want to bring some snake oil. These are really overpowered, and they not only fully heal you, but also give you a speed boost. Since they're relatively cheap, I'd say get around 2 or 3 of these. With that stuff, you should now be ready for the fort. You could also get some armor too, but it's really not needed. In my opinion, the fort is a lot easier than the castle, and since the fort is at a late point in the game, you should already be fully geared up. What you want to do is try to lure the enemies outside the fort and shoot them with your rifle. If they ever get too close, which usually never happens, pull out your shotgun and use that. The enemies inside the fort will all be zombies, but some of them can have weapons like swords or guns. Luckily, none of them have extra health, so they'll all be one shot to the head with a rifle. And as you can see in the gameplay, they spawn from 2 main locations, meaning you can easily farm them by shooting them as they spawn in. I'm going to speed the rest of this up since there's not much else to say. And just like that, I've completed the fort. This is really easy to complete compared to the castle and barely takes any time to do. Now there will actually be reinforcements that will come once you try to leave, but even then they barely stand a chance. After killing all the enemies, you want to try to find Captain Prescott, a special zombie who wears a black shirt and has a hat. Make sure you store him for later, but right now, you want to pick up the key he drops, and you can use this to open the supply depot door. And inside the supply depot, you'll find some treasury bonds, but also the new cannon along with some ammo for it. And don't worry, I'll go over the cannon in just a bit. Inside the fort, you can also find an armory, much like the one found inside the castle, and here you can find some guns, some ammo, and also some bandages. It isn't as stacked as the one inside of the castle, but it's definitely still good. And there is also little bits of lore spread throughout the fort, so if you're into that stuff, I'd recommend reading all these papers. And here you can see as I try to leave, many reinforcements come, but this time they're on horses. I won't lie, these enemies on the horses were a lot more annoying to kill than the enemies earlier, and I even had to drink some snake oil to stay alive. But in the end, they weren't too difficult. Now, if you stored the Captain Prescott zombie I showed earlier, you can actually take this guy to the sheriff's office and sell him there for a lot of money. You probably would have seen some of the new wanted posters of this guy, and when you sell him, you'll get $150. Now I want to go over the cannon and how it works. It's a lot like the turret, where you'll have to place it somewhere on your train, and you'll also have to place the ammo next to it for it to work. And here I went out at night to show you guys how the cannon is used against enemies. You need to press E to shoot, and you'll shoot one cannonball that deals a ton of damage and can also deal splash damage, meaning it can hit multiple enemies at once. And you can see, with just one cannonball, I almost killed the werewolf. The cannon has about a 3 to 4 second reload time, which is one of the only downsides. It's best to use this whenever you're taking out a group of enemies, or you need to quickly kill something like a werewolf, since if you shoot a cannon at their feet, it'll usually kill them instantly, or make them one shot. The new cannon is pretty great, and in my opinion, it's a lot better than the turret. And if you were wondering, you cannot sell neither the cannon or the ammo, and another downside is that you also cannot buy ammo for the cannon. Meaning, from what I know at this point, the only way to get cannonballs is from the fort. So, use your ammo wisely. If you do know another way to get cannonballs, leave it in the comments below. Anyways, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. If you've enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments and I'll try to answer. So, yeah, see ya.